So I've done thousands of procedures, hundreds of clients. This video is to be able to help you decide if scalp micropigmentation is for you and what even is scalp micropigmentation to begin with. So SMP scalp micropigmentation is for anybody who is looking for a non-invasive hair loss solution that is a more cost-effective solution than, for example, a hair transplant. This is something that is very, very low maintenance. This is very easy to upkeep. So people who are usually very busy, they like to do something like this, or somebody who just doesn't want to go down the path of the frustration of all these other hair loss solutions out there that require a lot of time, a lot of investment, and daily routines. So this is a procedure that a lot of my clients get who just want to get quick, guaranteed, instant results. All right, so now that that's out of the way, what is scalp micropigmentation? How does this work? What's the process? I know you guys have a lot of questions, and I'm gonna do my best here so I can respond and answer all of your questions in the best way that I can. So when it comes to scalp micropigmentation, it's a very, very simple process. Overall, every single SMP artist and every clinic is gonna have a different process depending on who they got trained by, also on their personal experience. So keep in mind, guys, this is what I do specifically. This is what I'm doing in the moment. Just because of myself, how I am, I'm always getting better and better at the process. I believe in you can never truly learn something, but you can get really, really good. And over time, there's small little tweaks that you can do to make it better and better and better. And ultimately, that's how I got to where I am right now. That's how I've been able to transform and change people's lives with this service. So the first thing that we do whenever we're gonna start doing scalp micropigmentation, it is super important that we hop on a call so we can specifically see what exactly is your goal on your hair. Is it to keep it short? Is it to keep it long? When it comes to a specific hairline, do you want to drop it down? Do you want to keep it where you want to do it and then make any adjustments? So the first step is just gathering information. And so for me to be able to truly see and come up with a game plan, that way I can get you from point A to point Z as efficiently as I can. That way you see crazy, crazy, amazing results. And we're still operating in a way where it's more of a conservative approach in case you want to make any adjustments. Once we get that out of the way and we start actually working on the procedure, essentially we're going to be doing a two-step process. So on session number one, we're going to be working on mainly the foundation. So the whole goal of the first session is to just create a leveled out foundation. I like to refer to this to my clients where think of it like as if we're building a house. So the first step is to create a nice foundation that way we can build off of that. So the whole goal is looking at the client specific situation, and then from there looking at the lightest areas on the scalp, and then looking at the darkest areas, and then making sure that we're working on the lighter areas and matching it as much as we can into the darker areas. We're not going to be doing so much of the blending work just yet. The whole goal is to be able to create that foundation. So when we come in on the second session, that's where we get the realistic results that we're looking for. So for example, on the first session, we're using a slightly bigger needle size, and we're going to be using ink that is not on the darker side. So whatever your skin tone and hair color is, we're going to take a look at that, and then we're going to go with a conservative approach. We're not going to go with super dark or nothing like that. I know some clients, they do request that as well, but me as a practitioner, me knowing being in this for so long, doing hundreds of procedures, I know for a fact how everything is going to work out and the end result of everything. So the first step, we're not going to go nothing crazy. We're going to keep it super, super minimal. And just by doing that, we're going to see a crazy difference already and create that nice foundation. That way we can build off of it. From there, it takes about 2 to 3 days of realistic downtime where you just want to avoid excessive sweating, being out in the sun, anything that can create any kind of infection. With my clients, I do offer guidance even after the actual procedure, and they usually text me if you have any specific questions. But overall, as a guideline, you want to just make sure that you're avoiding any kind of contact with water and stuff like that. That way we can be able to retain as much ink as possible. The reason why I really, really highlight this is because when it comes to scalp micropigmentation, It's basically essentially a baby tattoo. And the reason why I say that is because we're not going as deep into the skin as a traditional tattoo. So since we're not going as deep into the skin, well, the good thing is a lot of people who have never had tattoos can get this done, and usually they wouldn't feel any pain at all. The only bad thing is about it is that since it's so delicate, you really want to make sure that you're setting some time off, 2 to 3 days, to be able to get this done, because since it's a little bit higher on the skin level compared to like a traditional tattoo, it's a lot easier for the ink to fall out. So it is possible, if you don't listen to my aftercare instructions and stuff like that, you can come back on the second session with a really, really low retention on the ink to the skin. So retention basically is just a fancy word for how much ink stayed, how many dots stayed on your scalp when we did the first session. So that's why it's super, super important. But whenever we come in after all that's done, you do the aftercare, you follow it to the T. 2 weeks later, and then from there you're gonna come in for the second session, and that's where we're gonna be working on any kind of light spots. It is normal to see a retention rate of anywhere from 60 to 80%. That's pretty much good overall. There is some rare cases where people just won't retain as much ink as others, and that's just genetic. That's something that we cannot control, but we do our best to control what we can control. So based off on the second session, where I'm gonna be able to see exactly what happened, I'm gonna touch base with you, ask you a couple questions, make sure everything is good, and then from there, then we have some room to make adjustments, right? So essentially what we're doing on the second session is we're just gonna blend everything out, make sure whatever we did lose on the retention, we're gonna level everything out once again. And that's where we're also gonna apply the second layer. So we're gonna be working in between all the dots that we laid down on the first session, and we're gonna be going about 10% darker. This is why whenever you look at my procedures and all my videos, you're able to see a very realistic look, because essentially we're changing the tone a little bit darker, and on top of that we're going a little bit smaller on the needle size. So doing this is what creates that realistic hair follicle look. Now once we do that, we finish the procedure, you do the aftercare. From there, I recommend waiting a period of at least 4 weeks. So after that, we're able to really see, and overall, what was the end result. We're really not gonna see what it really looks like once we're fully done. So once we're fully done, then from there, usually I touch bases with my clients and I tell them to either send me pictures or coming back into the office. And from there, then we can see if a third touch-up session is required. 9 times out of 10, most people are ready to go by 2 sessions and they're completely done. But there, like I said, there is some cases where things happen, maybe in life, maybe you couldn't take care of it exactly how I instructed 100%. So because of that reason, I always throw in there a guaranteed touch-up session. And like I said, this is just things that I do within my business. This is how I always helped out my clients. And everybody is different. Whenever you go asking for a consultation with somebody else, it is super important that you ask them about touch-up sessions and all the information of exactly what you're getting. So once we do that and we evaluate, then from there, either the last step would be, from there we just ask for a Google review, or if you want to just come in and answer a couple questions on how great your life has changed and how much you haven't have to wear this cap anymore, then from there that we'll do that. Or from there, then we'll schedule that third final touch-up session. And the thing is, and I know, I know there's another question where a lot of you guys were asking me, how long are these sessions, right? So these sessions are very, very minimal. The first one, on average, even with the biggest job that we get with people with the most severe amount of hair loss, on average, we're looking at about 3 to 4 hours. And then from there, on the second one, we're looking at about half the time. And then on the third one, it's very, very minimal. So maybe 30 minutes to 60 minutes. So it's a very, very simple process overall. I know that I went through a lot of stuff right now. So if you guys have any questions, make sure you comment down below. I'll respond to you as soon as I can. Or if you want to shoot me a question directly, you can text me to the number that I'm gonna put it down in the description. Also, I'm gonna have a link if you want to book a consultation with me, so we can figure out a game plan to see what would work best for you. It's 100% safe. There's gonna be no risk for you. I'm just looking to help you out. and give you pricing. I also give you details on exactly what you're looking at and is it even possible based on your specific goals. So without that being said, I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.